Cause yeah, in PSO pay to keep getting out of hand. I'm kind of curious on Capital I on this. Is like, I still feel like it's pointless. Like my God. But at the same time, it's like I get it's a little distant, right? Like now I'm thinking about it before we get into this, is maybe it is a little distant with the whole before when it was the 70 skip. It was just dumb because like why would you want to skip the story and the progressions and that it the good part, because if you want to do the cosmetic stuff, nothing's stopping you other than like a 10-minute tutorial. So like why? Well, I get that time is a little bit distant, right? Since you guys are getting like all the LC stuff and the weapon stuff, because we don't know how powerful the weapon series is going to be since it's a new weapon series, so it's brand new. So for all we know, that might be, this chapter, version of, like the gun weapons or whatever, like the top tier. I doubt it, but there is a chance it could be. So I think maybe also with that, and then also with the in-game cap being the new Dark Falls, the stuff that we still haven't done because of the requirement, is as for like someone that would be like in my shoes, if you pay the money, will it be strong enough to get you to the point to do it? And if so, how well is it gonna line up, as far as power is concerned? Obviously, I believe like the augments are not new. I could be wrong, but I don't think the augment new, so I'm pretty sure people can calculate out though. But yeah, maybe it is a little bit distant, because it's like at that point you're not paying to skip, you're paying to unlock Dark Falls, technically, maybe. So either way, let's see what Capital got to say about this.
So I've had this major concern with gaming in general, but more so NGS specifically as of late, because of just how much they are adding on top of everything that they already had. And what I'm talking about is the way to be able to pay to skip content, or like a pay to win in some aspects, where you pull out your money
They'll say it's bad pay to win,
skip content and get into the end of the game with essentially no work. A lot of what they've done recently is being able to skip levels, skip the story, skip doing the training for skill points, skipping, doing your equipment, skipping how to get augmenting, like the best in slot augments that a lot of people put work into, and just buying these packs, scratching for them, a whole bunch of different ways. Now, I just think it's been out of hand, especially with this last month or so. With all that said, I wanted to go into detail today about all of those and talk about the implications that could arise from all this, or the implications that have already been happening with the game because of this. So to start us off, we're going to talk about the skip gameplay feature. So this is the thing that's all bundled together that allows you to skip levels, skip the story.
Yeah, what was it? It was $13, right?
So
12.
You can
use
AC, which is the real money currency in the game, to buy these separate things. And this just screams to me, skip everything almost in the game except for the very tail end, as everything else is bad or is just a hassle to deal with.
Still don't understand.
Other games that do this is like a band-aid on the problem that they created themselves, and that is the new player experience, or the leveling experience is just so bad that they want people to just spend money to.
And also the other thing about this is not only, I do agree it is a band-aid thing, but I feel like also the other thing on this is like there was a game that it makes sense. If you like example, you look at like Final Fantasy 14 and you looking at what 300-400 hours if you're doing just main story, pushing the content, pushing your levels. So it's like, if you want to play with your friend, but the problem that comes into the case of Final Fantasy 14 is like you have the whole other classes you could level if your friend have a class that like level 1, but also at the same time it's like with like 14 you had level syncs and stuff, but you can pay to get levels in that, which is, now thinking about it, I guess also a little pointless in 14 because you want to play the story, but yeah, like the whole skipping bit, it like I see it like at fall, like if you are someone that want to get to just like say you like someone who do waves or you do like in-game activity and you want to just get to that and get the bell minimum and have all the areas unlocked so you can go, you know, level your equipment and do whatever you need to do for quote-unquote in-game. So I can kind of understand that for like WoW, Final Fantasy, because, you know, that been like, you know, decades of content just, you know, stockpile, especially in the case of WoW. Well, like PSO, I don't feel like it have that luxury, you know?
It's so quick to level and go through the story.
Exactly.
Why would someone even want to skip it all? To then be stuck in the endless loop of doing whatever the latest limited quest is. TroyMaconn.
Yeah, I think honestly, I feel like with PSO, which is what I was getting at, because I agree with that, is I feel like the thing Sega had hoping here, not only as a band-aid situation, because like literally, like yeah, like Coon, like for example, Coon will play in PSO, like when Time of Thea, like was done-ish. Cause me and Coon, we did co-op up in PSO2 though for a couple nights. Hey Mason, how you doing, Mason? You're just in time. We're going over the whole skipping stuff and capital stuff as well. But how you doing, Mason? But yeah, like when Coon did it, like Coon literally got to like almost mat level, if not mat level, I think in like a day and a half. Don't get me wrong, Coon will probably playing for like, you know, 6 to 10 hours. But I kind of feel like Sega ideal here, not only like what Capital talking about being a band-aid, but it also feel like one of them cases of, I feel like Sega is hoping it feel overwhelmed and you won't realize what the game actually is. Because obviously this is for either new player or the people who just want to get the weapon / augment, depending on how good the weapons are. We need to double check and see if Data Mine will have released that information yet. But nonetheless, it's literally like one of them cases of like, I feel like Sega being like, oh, at level 75, it, you know, 30, 40 skill point, there are 9 classes, there is 4 areas, you know, all that stuff. And I feel like they are trying to make that sound like there's so much to do, and hope the new player coming in will be like, you know, I just want to play with my friends. They mat level. I don't want to spend, you know, hundreds of thousands of hours leveling the in-game. I just want to skip to play with my friends, which is valid. But the thing is Sega just over here like, please don't look up any information. Please don't look up any information. You know, it's just like, come on, they dumb. Give up your credit card information. That's what it feels like, you know? It feels like they are playing on people that is lacking the information. When they just see the number, they just hope. They don't realize, yeah, you paying the money to get like 10 hours of content, if that, depending on how aggressive you are. So yeah, that's what it feels like anyway. About 6K in the game. Yeah, I think I'm at, I think total I'm at like 3 or 4K. Like total, but that like, you know, between PSO2 and New Genesis. I think New Genesis, I think I'm at like 1K, maybe a little over. But yeah, like I really do think that's what it is. I think they're just hoping people don't realize. They think they paying to get hundreds of hours of gameplay when they only paying to get like 10 to 15, and hope they don't realize it.
To go around it instead of actually fixing the issue. But talking about these in their separate spots, skip leveling allows you to skip to level 70, which is 5 away from the maximum right now.
Which is like 20
and
minutes.
Also get equipment tied with that for 1200 AC, or
yeah,
about
$12.
So this gives you one of each.
Yeah, honestly, Mason, that everybody. I feel like everybody have that opinion. Like, Mad Stamp getting hell. That's what Cato was talking about this. It's like, because of, you know, how this is impacting the game and what it means for the game. And, you know, I'm dealing the case of, like, that may or may not mean a lot of anything beyond just being, like, you know, becoming another PSA of, like, anyone being like, I'm going to talk PSO. I'm thinking about doing the KIP. Don't do it. You know, it's become like a PSA thing. But yeah, like we have had talks about like the whole like way the game is moving and whatnot and what that means. So yeah, I feel like the majority of the player base is, like I said, at that point it either very annoyed or very checked out or just like very much like at that point where like they just don't care anymore. Or, you know, you get into like my mindset is right now of just like, I love you, but you know, it just like you're not helping any amount of motivation beyond the bare minimum. And even the bare minimum is, you know, once again not that great. But then again, with that being said, it's like, you know, also I think also for me at least is, you know, we have other stuff that doing what I've been preaching for the last like 3 years for Sega to do, and they doing it in early access and literally doing like the changes that need to happen in less than like a week. But once again, the distance of, you know, a couple hundred, we'll say a couple thousand people, you know, but still. Not sure how Bait did Capsule, but I'm not sure they did it. Did all that for a base. I don't remember the way it was in Bait PSO. PSO2. Oh yeah, PSO2 was decent. Because in Bait PSO2, like don't get me wrong, there were like some capsules you could get. I believe like the stuff that'd be like, you know, 20% to, you know, your augments and like that type of stuff. You got that stuff. But the way PSO2 did it was the majority of the augments was on weapons. So if you wanted to farm a certain augment, you would have to farm a weapon that had that augment on it, and then once you got the weapon, you can then break the weapon down to take the augment off the weapon and put it on your other weapon. So that's how it was in Bait. Because I admit freely, like the way PSO2 do it is so much better. Because it was like super confusing in Bait games that you were like, you know, you had to like break weapon to steal them off of it. And you didn't get them as like single capsule that, you know, you just dash away. It's like all or nothing type of deal. Especially early on. Like I said, I know later on, I know they added a couple like standalone capsules, but it was still nothing to like the extent that PSO did. Like, and also if I remember right, I don't think PSO2 had like limitation. You know how like New Genesis have it where it'd be like, you know, like 4 teals of augment and you only can put 1 from each of the teals on your weapon. I want to say in PSO2, once again, don't hold me to that, but for my memory anyway, I need to go back and watch my video when I explained all that back in the day when we made that video. But, like back in the day, I want to say it was like, it would know like categories. It would just slots. So it'd be like, you got 8 slots, whatever 8 augments, if I remember correctly. But yeah.
The weapons of a class that you choose. So like Hunter, for instance, it gives you the sword, lance, and partisan, plus 60 of the Monarchy or Monarchase series. It also gives you 3 of the plus 60 Actesta armors. These are only obtainable through these packs, and they're kind of like a mid-ish.
I did not realize they were exclusive to that. My bad, chat. I thought that was the new stuff that hadn't been released yet. Oops.
High range set of equipment, so it isn't like too crazy where they're getting
what
like
are the stats on there?
It is quite up there with the augments.
Emergency announcement. We have detected the presence of rats in the TroyMaconn
We talking about
region.
PSO, of course we did.
Arcs defenders, please prepare for deployment.
We talking about PSO, you know, it just ramps. That's all that I can see him.
It's also like pretty good, but not like the best of the best necessarily. The best ones are like the Triple 2 and the Mastery 4. But in a couple weeks' time, they'll be updating this with the new level cap increase on the 11th. So
okay, never mind. Maybe these are the ones I was thinking.
Still 5 off the level cap, but with the equipment, it gets a major upgrade. It gets to plus 70 with all these, bypassing that limit break mechanic that requires you to get the Arms Refiner 2s and the Arms Refiner 1s.
You need to get all the
and all those
final.
Gold Prim 2s, which is absolutely insane. But on top of that, they get way higher augments here.
But for the record, I still think this is going to get us high enough to do Dark Falls, the new one. Because I think at that point, Sega want everybody, elite gameplay-wise, to be doing Darkfall, Lucille, and then pulling a credit card out for cosmetics.
So the LC versions of all the best augments within the game, like
So you better be ready to get your low-level stuff from the new Dark Falls.
All still for just 1200 AC or about $12. For those who don't know, these LC augments come from Lucille Exploration, which is a...
Okay, I take it back. Maybe they don't want you to do Lucille, chat. Never mind, I forgot about that. I forgot how you farm them. Never mind. Lucille is now pointless.
Quest that just came out in August as an endgame activity. So you could take hours and hours trying to get into the thing, as well as spend hours trying to earn these augments to then put on
gameplay.
But now somebody can just come around, plop $12 and get all of that. That is absolutely insane to me. One could argue that, this is better than no solution for the new player experience. Have at least the Band-Aid instead of nothing if they're going to go.
The thing here about the new player experience here, chat, would be, that wouldn't be an issue, or as big of an issue, if they would literally, once again, coming back down to the number one problem that exists forever, going back to PSO2, hell, couldn't existed back in episode 1 and 2 of original Dreamcast PSO, is the drop weight. That is what it boiled down to. Because it's like, by the time you get to the point, which, once again, not a lot, but once you get to the point and you get to, like, Lucille, so, like, in your 70s, roughly, give or take, and you start farming, quote-unquote, in-game, which is Lucille and Dark Falls, if once again, you make the drop weight better, you make it well, the capsules are more realistically able to be farmed, and then you keep updating Lucille with items and cosmetics and AC etchy items, titles, hell, but add the ability to get, like, Genesis point from this as well for houses. Like, if you thought, like, wrapping your content around doing this to, like, progress all your other content, and then have the LC capsule be like, oh yeah, you wanted 10 times, you guarantee elite, 4 to 6 of them. Literally make it like a 1 out of like 15 chance. Let that be the drop weight for the distant ones. And let that be like every single one. So it'd be like, you do like 10 ones, hoping you get one for like a sword. You might get like 3 for, like your partisan, 2 for, your gun, whatnot. That way the drop weight, you still get them, but the drop weight not impossible. And you progressing towards everything else, your house, your outfits, your star gems, your, alliance, your, upgrading your weapon, whatever, beyond augmenting. Like, that's how you fix this. This is how you do it. Like, if you want that content to stay relevant, and then you want the new player to not be far behind, like, you keep that content relevant. Well, like, my biggest worry here is going to be, like, for example, literally what Cato just brought up, of just like, yeah, you can just buy and get all the, not have to farm them. My question is that how bad is that going to actually affect the player base? Because if you think about it, it's like, for the people that out there, that is like the mid-maxer type, the ones that like, I need mat level at every given point. The people who won like War Fort dungeons and like WoW and Destiny, as example, like them types of people. The hardcore of the hardcore. That may or may not keeping the content alive by trying to get the augment if they don't always have it, of course. But let's say they don't. Is for them people, the item is what matters, not the content. So you better believe these people are gonna probably spend the $12 and just buy the stuff and not. And then at that point, if they give them all the LC capsules, you know, and then on top of that is like, if you can buy a poor quat, that means you can buy what, 9 times? And like, not counting, and then also not counting the people that only play 1 quats only. Like, why would they be motivated to do Lucille anymore? And then, especially by that point, when the new player will catch up, if there is any new players that catch up, a little condescending there, sorry. But the players that do join for whatever reason in PSO try to do this. The content just going to be dead because all like the hardcore people are just not there. And then for like the middle people, how many people are going to be like, you know, gonna actually be able to fight off the, you know, the craving to just do the money thing. Like, but as far like the middle people who won't, that will still farm it, like that still don't fit the issue of like what happens, which we know what happens, but what would happen like once everybody have them, you know, capsule, they have the item, they have what they want. Because like the Lucille quest, I feel like it only surviving because of the drop weight. You know? So it like, once everybody have the item or bought the item, what are you going to be led to do? It's literally the same thing that happened with, what was it, the Ancients, wasn't it? The one down there in that little ice area, you had to have the augment to fight. Like, what happens when the time comes and they release, you know, the net version of the augments that is now in whatever, some new game mode? You know? Not only the LC capsule, they also giving away some of the top capsules.
Come here, I got you some food.
Give me a moment, Sam. I'm making a YouTube video technically, Sam. So I'd be down in like 40 to an hour. Well, you're gonna blame me the food. But nonetheless,
that's what I dislike about this game. Make us work like crazy for equipment, then watch a month or so later as it's all given away for free.
Yeah.
Or in this case, now you can buy it.
That too.
No.
Fine, Sam. Also, Luna, get off my walk. Oh, Luna, try and whip my headphones off, chat. But yeah, exactly. Like no matter what, like, this is gonna go the way of every other content. You know, where it'd be like in a couple, like, whenever they add the net quote unquote content that have like whatever come after LC. Well, they put that stuff in Lucille. Like, no, people are gone. Just the question is, what happened for it? Will people buying it kill Lucille? Will people getting it naturally kill Lucille? Or will, because they won't update the drop list, or they just release another content that will have better equipment, and then everybody just can go do that, and Lucille just gonna, you know, fade away like every other thing in PSO. But yeah, let me see. What was that, Mason? Yeah, giving away, they were giving away some of the top capsule that take a while to get, or costs. Yeah, shit ton. Exactly. Like, it's just one of them cases of like, well, once again, it like, not only is this a band-aid, but I feel like this is a band-aid that literally have like 20 diseases on it, you know? That they just like have took off of like 400 people with every disease under the sun, be like, it's still clean, and then just, you know, put it on the player base. Like, but once again, it not just like just this. They should go back in general for the philosophy of like Sega when it comes to this game, because it was the same in PSO2, it was the same in NGS at launch, and it's the same in now. Like, for example, like back in PSO2 when we started getting, you know, like some of the other quests, the only quest type that technically hold any weight up to New Genesis came out and then just died was dual quests. But like all the other quests that were tied to any type of co-op were dead within a few days of release into a few weeks. So this have not changed at all design-wise, which is like also the biggest problem here. Then they're okay since they did the Omnic scratch at a capital. They get away with it. Oh yeah, like they're gonna make the money. Cause at the end of the day, the thing to keep in mind, like absolutely, and not like anything like me, Cap, or you guys. Nothing we say. Not only because we the global player and our input only means so much. Not even counting that. Of long they making money.
Not since have I bothered to try and min-max. It's not worth it. Only just now have I upgraded my armors, and only because I somehow got 2 octo argers to drop. One of them I put all my best augments I'd been saving onto it using all my protections. The other I just used the LC augments.
Yeah. And any $12 that will probably be better. Or maybe not. Maybe on par, but yeah, I wanted to video on that. The last time I was doing, like, trying to, like, chase after, well, not really chase after, I guess a chase after, like, the gear, was, like, the weapon, what was it, I think it was the Neo weapons, wasn't it? And then the weapons you got, for Thea, for killing, the gigantic group. Like, that was the thing with, like, that, like, Kaiser, like, them I did. But like getting into like this stuff, I never did because I'm still burnt out from like the Nemesis stuff and PSO2 doing this shit. But yeah, like I kind of feel like if anything, like being able to buy the capsules are just beating this up. But with that being said, I do feel like Sega at the end of the day, with it being a live server game and money here, and you don't fuck with the money, I think Sega don't care. They probably like, don't get me wrong, there are people that do, but I feel like overall, like as far as like building like a long lasting sense of content and gameplay, they just don't. It just always on to the next thing, and along they making money one way or another. Why care beyond the like bare minimum that it needed to be done, we're not gonna be seeing the devs crying on stream anytime soon, as an example.
Go that way. But they have already had something in the game that is currently ongoing, and that is seasonal events giving gear. So this is very little effort gear for very high upgrades, and being able to skip some of
because limited time gives so much.
The limit breaking and whatnot.
Because to be honest, the seasonal stuff is this. Because let's be honest here, the seasonal events are catch up. This is like for the new player to catch up, and he comes every month and a half. Like, don't get me wrong, we got our comment, we got our thoughts, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, this is literally like, hey, here's a whole month, here's some equipment that is decent for you to get out there and do content, and then hopefully in that month, you get enough item or Maceta to buy the item to then be, like, on par to wherever you need to be for wherever we at in the game. So yeah, like I said, literally selling the stuff is just for hoping players are too dumb to realize it, or so mid-maxing that they will spend the money just so they can instantly mid-max and do whatever motivation you have at that point, because we don't exactly have like War Fort competitions or anything like other MMOs
that give you a plus 60 weapon with all of these augments on top, with the potential level 6 as well. And this is equipable at level 40, so that's pretty early on within the game. And with this, it only takes 10,000 seasonal points, which you can get that with a single limited time quest run, or by killing just a few seasonal enemies.
And if you're doing the main story, you will have that money by the time you get to level 40.
Here, like the Ajax armor, Vios armor, or quality armor plus 60, which this is equipped by level 10s, level 24s, and level 70s. So you got some armor for across the entirety of the game that are useful to you, that are plus 60, but can go to 70 with their enhancement level, because they're also limit broken and have these augments on top. So I don't see why there needs to be a set out there that has the best stuff on it, or at least near best stuff with the LC Augs, when this stuff already exists, and it doesn't feel as bad because players aren't just instantly...
That's going on about way in a month, and how are they going to make $12 a person? In other words, I feel like the seasonal event is something that was a bad idea for Sega, you know? You know, like, you know, we're going to do a seasonal event because PSO technically has seasonal events. And by proxy, it now realizing, wait, we can make more money elsewhere. Because obviously it got to be a success if they're doing it again. And now seasonal events are kind of just like went from being a activity to do slight catch up to fill out content to being kind of a nuisance, at least from a business perspective. So now the question is season event from the corporate eyes, is season event worth having? And you know they have slowed down a little bit compared to what they did back in the day, but once again, that is way more inside baseball than we have knowledge for right now. But I wouldn't doubt we don't start seeing like these seasonal event like slowing up and being like once every like 6 months or something, or longer.
Stuff that takes a ton of work. This isn't like too bad. It's more of like a mid-range thing now. And I don't know if I'd even say that as it is more like a stepping stone, if anything.
Oh yeah.
As there's still way better stuff out there in comparison to those things. But it's still nice for a new player because it allows you to do some more of the content and get through the beginning of the game faster. And with these seasonal events, they happen every other month, so there's a good chance there's one going on when you're playing. But when there isn't one, you can still buy those items out of the player market. So these are typically pretty cheap. You just got to look back into the previous update on the website and find what weapon was a part of it.
Yeah, because people just look at the dump them, for
instance, with the katana here,
and then nobody buy them.
And if we just do plus 60, we should be able to see quite a few of them in the market for a certain price. So looking at it here, 178k. That is pretty cheap. As you can get that in a single daily, pretty much. So with this, it has the potential 6 just the same, has all those augments, and can go to 70 with the enhancement already. It's already limit broken, which takes quite a bit of resources. So with this, all you got to do is replace the Season augment, because that is a seasonal augment, only useful during that particular seasonal event that it came from.
But yeah, that's not hard to do.
This will hold you off quite well for most of the content. You just got to change out a few augments, upgrade a little bit as to get the other augment slots, and you should be good to go. So in my opinion, this does not need to exist for the game, as there's already a Band-Aid-like system that doesn't cost any money, and this just serves as a spit to the face to all the players that have been...
I still say this is for the player bait that don't know any better, or thinking about playing, they don't know any better, or the hardcore mid-max, or that have bad luck like we do.
Playing even the most recent content, as it gives all of those LC Augs that come out of Lucille Exploration, and more recently, the limited time quests. Moving on to the next part, we have the Skip Trainia feature. This allows you to skip all the cocoons and towers released within the game so far, for all of the skill points.
And if they start adding weight to the channel
with their class skills, this gives you a total.
Like
of
yeah, add content to it, and then allow you to skip it. What?
Of 47, and this costs $9. In all honesty, this is probably the least offensive part of all of this, and isn't too bad because the Trainia themselves are bad or just okay to play through. I think the original function of all of these Trainia was to teach the players how to do certain things.
Yeah,
like facing certain enemies while also doing parkour, or just doing specifically parkour to avoid certain like mines and whatnot. So teaching them the movement within the game.
Yeah, it was the whole thing of like tutorial slap speed running, but oh yeah, they don't have a complete like leaderboard at all. Wait, maybe not so much on the speed running bit, but I still say they need to add a leaderboard that is content and not reset after a few days, only be for yourself. But yeah, I'm with Captain on this. It's like, yeah, that what these was. These are meant for like training.
And also
literally that what they are for. In continuity and out.
That function very well. With this though, in combination with the level and equipment skip, it's a surefire way to have players that do this have no clue what they're doing within the game in terms of what they're doing with their equipment, what they're doing with their class skills.
This is getting into the problem with level
It's
cap
going to
in
be a very
general.
painful process, but they're all doing it while in endgame content with
Just in
other
general about
players.
any MMO have
I've
that
seen
problem.
This plenty already within New Genesis as well as base game PSO2, where these new players are getting into this content and infuriating the veteran players because they have no idea what.
Chad, how many of you guys I have seen over the last like couple months bitching about underlevel people, or people who don't know how to play them classes, or people that are going in with no augments on their weapons? I've literally watched you guys in chat for like months now complain about that, especially with the Darkfall content. So like,
They're doing, making the quest take way longer than they feel it should. So this leads the veteran players to go into private lobbies with their own friends instead of doing the public. And then new players are like, where's all of the other players? And they either can't queue into the systems, or they queue
you queuing with like 3
where
people.
they're just having a real bad time doing any of the quests.
They're like doing any of the Origin quest now, outside of one.
Time, even back with classic PSO2. But having these 2 skip features just makes the problem more prevalent. And what Sega needs to do is to improve the new player experience. Have it be, more of a hands-on experience, so people are actually learning through play instead of a ton of different text boxes that people will most likely skip. And maybe add a mentor system.
We only complain about it when you're with us, Troy. Dear TroyMaconn.
That is true. That is true, because I'm also horribly under level and horribly under equipment because Sega have educated us to not be. But that is beside the point.
So that veteran players get encouraged to teach the newer players through some sort of rewards or something like that. Or even having quests that's...
Or better yet, chat. Better yet. You know, the other thing that would be like you for heal for that would I don't know, maybe some of the official cradles, maybe do like they did doing PSO2 back in the day, where you thought like commissioning content cradles to make how-tos and guide videos, and maybe, just maybe, taking some of that content. I know they probably got something to do with royalties in Japan, but maybe thought having it, well, you could take some of the videos and thought putting them in the game, or maybe once again, if they did want to go the gameplay way, to do it, or on like the mentorship here, like, hey, if you see like an NGS, like if they didn't want to give up the badges, maybe give it the badge to like the people who do guide content, and then highlight them. It is, chat. It is. VIP is great. Hi, Pip. How you doing, Pip? But yeah, like maybe they're not unheard of. They did it. They did it with Gemma. Like if you go to like the PSO on YouTube here, let me see if I can find it. I wonder if they're still up now, thinking about it. I'm gonna hope we get Quopy, chat. But like, oh, hang on, here we go. Like, if we go like far enough back, which probably won't be hard, let's be honest here. Like literally they did this in PSO2. Like, they literally had Gemma make videos that literally were breaking down, like, mechanics and stuff for new players. So, like I said, I don't know if it's still up or not here. But yeah, like, it's not like they haven't done it in the past. It's only dissing it now at 100% JP, so maybe that's a problem here, but... just saying. Just saying, that would be quite... Oh yeah, here they are. Like literally, why heal, chat? Look at this. Well, should I level up? How to gear up in PSO2? How do we gear up in on PSO2? Like, yeah, literally, here they are. Like, Like, literally, chat. Come on, YouTube, don't...
For any upgrades for your specific equipment for your class. Now, I am currently equipped with Knuckles, and they're a little bit more powerful than these other weapons, so it's better to compare.
I'm just
if I
saying,
was
chat.
using, for example, a twin dagger, and comparing it with a twin dagger set that I had just picked up. Now,
But yeah, they did it with Jim up. Just saying.
Scale to certain levels. So maybe you can enter it at level 20, but you get scaled to like level 70 regardless of what level you actually are. I don't think this should be added to necessarily
new
all
emote
things in
now,
the game,
pip.
because there's some that should be separate to endgame, but then there should be content that all players are encouraged to play with each other. A good example is the limited time quests that have been happening, but basically those have just been devolved to one rank that are like level 70, level 72, or even level 75, so no new players can do that unless if they use these skip mechanics or go through the story and level. With other parts of the skip gameplay feature, they have the skip story one, which you can imagine why that's just bad right off the bat. This allows
Yeah.
you to progress to
Yep.
the beginning of the latest chapter of the main story. After using, you get all the experience awarded to you that you would make with those different quests, and it costs just 900 AC, or just the same as the
I feel like
training
there's a
one.
less that's been
Bonus, you don't
because,
receive
like,
any
who
of the
cares about the
seta or
story
item
in a
rewards,
lot of
though,
ways.
that you get from skipping the story, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, this is just saying the story sucks, it's worth skipping. Just spend the $9 so you can unlock all of the different
And if you care, you
regions
can
and
go
whatnot,
back and
because
watch
that
the
is what this is
cutscenes
tied to.
at
Because
the
if you
deck
don't progress
counter.
through the main story, you won't be able to do the end game content, even if you are of this level or have all of these trainia done. So they're expecting you to buy all three of these in tandem. So
My question here with how they're gonna work is, if I'm skipping the story, I'm guessing it would just unlock all the zones, right? I'm guessing that's probably what it is, right? But at the same time, I wonder if you buy the level skip, but you don't buy the story. You still got to do the story to unlock the areas. So
Don't pay to skip any of the content, just give your money to Troy instead.
do it.
Do it.
Do it. Like people in subscribe, chat. Like people in subscribing. If you're over on YouTube watching it, because it will be a YouTube video, come on over to twitch.tv/TroyMaconn where you can give me your money. Back to capital.
spending the 900 here, spending the 900 here, and the 1200 here
make sure you
to be able
keep
to
hitting that
do
like button,
that end
like,
game content. Because if
like...
you don't buy one of these, you're going to be, under power if you don't have like the gear here, under power if you don't have the class skills, or just not far enough in the story to be able to do the said thing. You don't have access to it. In summary, for the skip gameplay feature, it just tells everyone that anything from before is not worth doing. It holds.
I gave Troy my money though. $100 and got scammed.
Don't tell that.
Sad.
Don't tell that to YouTube. We will beat Vagrant and Toy. It will happen. Don't listen to Twitch chat, YouTube. It's nice over here. Come on over.
It's no value. The only thing they should be doing is the latest content, because that actually gives you things. But as we just saw, they'll just keep updating this to give what we just had as the latest content, like this equipment right here with the LC augments. So is anything worth doing? Is it all just going to be skipped for the next best thing? That's what it looks like.
Nothing
right
worth
here.
doing.
Now, though, let's get into the rest of it, as this was just the new player skip gameplay features. There's other things that aren't necessarily directly called skip features, but they feel like it, with being able to pay for certain augments that are way above and beyond everything else that you can earn in game, as well as being able to pay to skip unnecessary headaches within the game that Sega.
Don't worry,
caused
it'd be back
themselves.
up in a
One of the
moment,
more
Pip.
obvious ones is this AC support item select scratch. So this happens about every few months or so, and just like the other cosmetic scratches, you can spend 200 AC to get a single item within like a loot box situation. And with these though, instead of cosmetics, they give best in slot augments that you can't get anywhere else, and also give you upgrade materials.
And I believe you can sell this as well. So,
and within each of those iterations, there's different kind of capsules that are best in slot for the time, so they continuously get upgraded, just like how the skip gameplay features for the new players are.
yeah, which is like it can't be it can't be overpowered if we make it obsolete in 2 months.
So with the first iteration, there's these Addy capsules that gave a single potency as well as a single
I
sub
wish,
stat.
Pip.
If we take a look at it here,
I could
an
go
Addy
for a
Deft
Hungry
Meld
Man
gave
right now.
2.5% melee potency and 2.5% potency floor. So that's actually pretty decent for now, but it was insane back then when it released, which was back when the Rotem region released back in December 2021 or January 2022. So they did these
it would
three
December.
times before they moved on to a new iteration.
I told him, put your hands
Oh,
up,
God.
give up the cash if you want to see another day. He nodded his head like, yeah, gave up the bread like, yeah.
Hello, Shiny Albert here.
Hi.
That's Mexi bald-bearded gentleman who occasionally tags along with Troy when he's playing PSO. I only have 2,000 hours on NGS and was about to pay for the story skip, but I've decided instead to give those dollaroos to our Troy.
Nice. Nice. So yes, if any of you, because I know some of you get CM confused with me. Yes. CM and not me. Dude, thank you, CM. Remind me when the video done, I will get that updated into the Luna Pat thing. But dude, thank you. Thank you, CM. See, now you don't need to keep the toy. It's fine. It's fine. Sega gonna be sad now. That's how we're gonna get blacklisted from Sega, isn't it, CM? You're gonna try to log in later, and now you're officially banned. You went down with the ship, CM.
Hybrid Addy capsules, which are even better than those.
Thank you,
So that's
dude.
3% potency for 2 different types, like melee and tech here, and even more with their substats. So 2.75% floor there, or have a mix of substats because all of them have potency floor or something else. So like the Guamelra has damage resistance, 2.5%, and always that 1% potency floor in addition to that 3% potency for the 2 types. So that's just absolutely insane, even for right now. But now they have a new capsule called XD. So this has happened twice so far, so we expect it to happen one more time before they make like another set of probably these or something else. But these are
it might be
4%
next.
potency for either 2 types or all 3 types of
They are
potency.
still
if you
8
get a
to
parfait
10K
version,
apiece.
and they have substats as well. So the potency floor gets up to 1.5%, and like there's a substat there.
Down chip
Or if
1,
you get
why?
the depth versions, then they have 3% potency floor. And just to make a comparison with what we have in game right now to these XD
So you're looking at
capsules, just
about
taking a
40
look
million
on, like, my
roughly.
armor here. So this Half an Ally is the best capsule
Oh,
you can
2?
earn
Okay.
in game. It gives
It
you
probably quote the
4%
1 as
potency,
well.
15 HP, and 5 PP. So those things that you can buy are better for sure because it gives more to the substats and also gives potency floor any one that you get, which means more DPS. The one saving grace for a lot of people for these is that you can technically get them off the player market from other people, but all in all, someone has to spend their real money to get these things. And I really don't like the fact that this is the best capsule in the game.
And also, like, it's not ideal. Like, it's not ideal when you are, like, on a financial level. When any of you not the one spending the money to try to unlock the capsule with them being, part of the loot boxed up. But still having to rely on somebody to spend money, it's still not a
I
good
am
feeling.
not TroyMaconn. I'm Albert Troyma CM. Stop coming up to me in game and mistaking me for Troy. There's an easy way to tell us apart though. I'll share it with you.
Okay.
Just look at the gear. If you see higher than 6-star gear and the equipment actually has augments on it, it's not TroyMaconn.
I hate how you're not wrong. I really do. I hate how you're not wrong, because I had like 1 augment on my armor for months. You're not wrong. Absolutely not. Yeah, now the time to tell YouTube how you feel, chap. But yeah. But yeah, having to like actually rely on other people to spend money to then for you to buy it off the player market, it's like also not great. Cause you still any of you don't partake in the pay part of the game, you still requiring someone to take part. And like, I don't know about you guys, but like that way less rewarding to just buy the stuff than to just get it myself to like normal means. But the problem is, if it did have normal mean, it wouldn't be fun because it's like 1 in a billion. But like, once again, I still say like so much of PSO problems boil back down to just straight up drop weights and how they handle items that you either get from money or in game.
Any point, so that you just keep coming out with better ones that will just trump anything that you would actually spend time on in game. It just is infuriating to think about that. This is basically pay to win through and through. I know some people don't like calling it that because there's no PvP in this game, but there are leaderboards that you do compete with.
I wouldn't even say that pay to win. I still say dumb pay to win, but I would say this is let pay to win than being a very odd like this is like on par with pay to play, but with random chance. It like yeah, you can play the game, but like at certain points, especially where we are now with the game, is like, you know, either you pay or you pay by proxy. And it just not good. At this point, make the game a $70 game and call it a day, you know? But obviously that's not gonna happen because there's more money in free to play than pay to play. But it's like it pay to win when you can't get the capsule in game. No, exactly. That too, Mason. 100%.
You can play the game or you can take what in the mystery box.
Yeah, that Mewtwo option, Pip. 100%. But yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like, it paid to win when you can't get the capsule in the game normally, I feel. 100%. Like, back in the day, I just called it, like, shit pay to win because you didn't get anything for paying. But as a progress, that's 100% accurate. It, like, if you can't get it through normal means beyond hoping somebody put it up on the player market,
when I grow up, I want to be like my idol. Yes. His name is CM. A beautiful man who never has told a lie.
I'm
a
not
fellow
editing
fish and chips enjoyer such as myself.
YouTube
a
people.
class act. I would say the same about Troy, but unfortunately I cannot mold myself after someone who promotes scalping, scams his viewers, plays 4 hours of Vagrant Story, blames Luna for his transgressions,
and Sam
never bought Sam Diavolo cologne, kicked me out of the group in Cult of the Lamb, robbed me of $100.
You went away!
I'm simply in ruins.
You went away. I tried to kill you. I just couldn't figure out how to do it fast enough before you went away and started your own court. But that is beside the point. See, everyone on YouTube, that video is gonna probably be an hour and a half, but this is what you missed. You missed, chat. Or everyone on YouTube.
Chat's organized here. They're organized to fucking torture me, okay?
This is what you missed.
With 4 different like times or a score, so this does give you an advantage in those. So you can call it.
Oh, that is also a good point.
Really matter what you call it, you're still spending real money to get.
I guess you do have the leaderboard up. You're not wrong. I didn't think about that.
For this, it allows you to technically skip.
You heard it, YouTube. Troy is also a potential murderer as well. Poro sad.
I was gonna bring you back from the dead as a zombie. It's fine. You would have been fine. You would just have some tentacles in your head. Don't think about it.
Skip using a different augment within the game, as you can just use this for a category of the 6 that you can have on your gear currently. For the rest of the items within this AC support item select, there are these limit break substitutes and potential unlock substitutes.
I like how Troy's PSO content these days just consists of him having hour-long rants over the top of other content creators. TroyMaconn.
I think that says something. I think that says something about like, do we count me doing it a headline stream? Maybe we do, but what it is honestly at that point, like hell, we're gonna be able to make guide videos of any substance. And also is like the state that PSO like, let's be honest, all that content creators are just bitching and complaining. Not all we do anymore. And in return, it like, let's be honest, We love cattle around here. We do. But in a lot of ways, these are like cattle, Quopy, whatnot, and everyone else. It's more like jumping off points of discussions that I would do a video. But
It's
man,
saying you're a lazy ass. Start that TroyMaconn new Genesis fashion guide show immediately.
But if I do, actually, I could do, and we can still also support Nightshade as well. So there we go. We do team up with Nightshade and the Cat Day crew, and we'd be good to go. But yeah, like these videos are like good like jumping off point for like videos that I would normally do, and they're just way more of a pain to edit because, you know, trying to keep my thoughts straight beyond bouncing off of something. But yeah, not a bad idea though. We need to hit up Nightshade about how to set some of that stuff up.
Dudes, things like that, allows you to pass the material cost. So you don't need to spend arms refiners or the photon cubes or any of the materials that you get within the world itself, and just need to spend Maseta, and that's all you need to do once you have these. There isn't a limit break substitute for level 70 yet, as that's the max for enhancing.
Give them a week.
That will just happen at some point soon. For these
yeah, that would happen before the end of the year.
Weapons,
Absolutely.
this isn't that big of a deal because there's ways to get enhancement fodder within the game that's better. So this isn't necessarily bad here. Of course, that isn't all though. You can actually skip more with the augmenting process and just not need to do any of the work for the augments through several more ways. One of them is also through other scratches, sometimes with revivals, or sometimes I just kind of do it willy-nilly, is that they have these S augments inside as scratch count bonuses. So after you scratch on these cosmetic scratches a certain amount of times, you get these. So Hal Finale S and High El Domina S. Usually it's like the best augments in the game at the time. And the difference between an S and a regular version like this one in the game is that instead of like a 7 or 8% success rate of putting it on your armor or weapons, it's a 100% success rate. So that means a guaranteed chance to put it on with just the one augment. You don't have to worry about it.
You don't have to get 10 plus all the other items.
An immense advantage in terms of like not worrying about, you know, dealing with the farming of getting them all or spending Maseta to buy them.
Let's be honest, the breaking stuff is just dumb. Like, absolutely 100% just dumb outright. That is like one of the mechanics that, like, I would honestly take the Warframe way or the Palia way any day of the week. I'm just being like, hey, you want to put that item or augment on your item? That would take 30 minutes. That would take 24 hours. That would take 12 hours. Or pay up $5. I would take that any day over the whole breaking stuff. Because then it'd be like, if you get one of the augment you want, like the LC stuff, instead of being like, God, I gotta get like 10 more of these and then just hope it don't break at a 99%, because we all have that moment in our life. If they would just be like, oh, it's just one, you just need one, it like 100%, but you're gonna take, 40 minutes, or give us $1, give me that any day of the week. Any day of the week, chat. And how you doing, Cloud? Welcome. Oh, that just a normal like drop weight, Cloud. Like in general, the drop weight is garbage. And a lot up in PSO that low level that it ain't even real.
Defenders. We are beginning a counter-offensive against rants in the TroyMaconn region. We request the participation of all ARC's defenders.
Yes, we do. But how you doing, Cloud? Welcome. We complaining with Castor about the pay to gift
Back
stuff
in
they
my
just added.
day, when Troy was young and hungry and invigorated, he would do 12-hour streams daily and loved and enjoyed the games. Nowadays Troy has become old and lazy, eating gold-flaked lobster tail and living off the fat of the land, aka the donations and ad revenue. We have lost Troy to corporate greed. It's sad to see. I want old Troy back. I want my passionate streamer back. The fame and money got to Troy. Only when the red chair returns can the universe be set right.
Hey, I'm still my lovable
It only took me a
socialists
few
and
attempts and I
altnets.
won the game of Pin the Luna on CriticasterQ TroyMaconn.
I knew it. I knew it. Okay, real quick. What we got? What we got? Chat? Oh my God! Chat, real quick. Good job, Pip. Good job. I see Capital Third Eye have open, chat. It happened. It happened, chat. But just for the record part, I am still my hopeful giddiness about Wave Final. You guys just won't let me go on for hours about Wave Final. But that's like my still happy game. Just saying. Only know the corporate greed version? Oh my God. You mean the Sam version. Sam is the one that over here, you need to sell out more. Sell out more. We got bill to pay. I need to buy insulin. Sell out more. Ah. No. We are giving a look at the Capital video about like the new gifts and the sense of power and where does that lead PSO. Also, this is going up on YouTube. I'm not gonna edit it because I'm not editing like a 2-hour video here. So feel free to get your issues out if you want, because I know chat have been through this. So yeah.
them out of the shop and then trying it in the item lab itself, and you can just slap it on and
Back in
go
my
on
day,
with your
Troy played console games. Now he has become a mobile gamer. It's been a sad downfall, Bible thump.
It's not a mobile game. It's not. Chat. Look at, I'm playing it on PS5. Look at it on PS5. It's not mobile. God damn it, chat.
day. There's more ways than just that, though, to get these S augments. You can actually get them through AC deals sometimes in different packs, where you can go to like the AC shop and you buy like premium sets, but in addition you get Mastery 4S, sometimes Arms Refiner 2s, or Defi augments, whatever. Something that allows you to surpass just doing it in game. And this also goes for like the SG shop, so that's like a freemium currency where you can earn some of it in game, but you can also spend money on it, so it's kind of like a wishy-washy deal. But this also can give you like Health and Ally S, Mastery 4S, so you can skip all that work and just buy this instead. I talk a lot about these taking work, and you're skipping a lot of it by getting these S augments. So I wanted to prove that, so I'm not just talking out of my rear end. So at the item lab, we can craft that Health and Ally capsule as an example in the augment capsule section here. So we have Health and Ally. This takes 30 Aegis Soul 4s and 10 of each Domina. So for the Aegis Soul 4s, you get 3 per run of the Healthia Lake Urchin quest. So you have to wait for that to show up. Or you can do the trigger quest version, which takes a lives badge to earn, or you can buy it out of the personal market.
Yeah,
for each
wait around now.
You need to,
I'll be right back, chat. I'm going to dig in the vault to show you true Troy passion.
It's gonna be me climaxing, isn't it, Pride? I'm gonna leave that vague for anyone that don't know what we're talking about, but nonetheless.
15 minutes on average to do it, so 10 times the 15.
Senpai Criticaster is one of my favorite Phantasy Star content creators. He always goes so deep.
Yeah.
Maybe we should leave you, Troy, for him? Convince us now why we should stay? TroyMaconn.
I make some of the bet guy videos out there on Wave Final. We have a Luna. Sam Needle Grapes. We got new emote coming in a few days. Halloween thought the model. And who knows, maybe the Red Chill or Happy Knit will come back. I'm technically bored with a build. Technically, if you can call that this.
The flame cold.
We have Miku's. Miku's behind me. And Gundam.
Warmth or its pumpkin spiced aroma, but by its desire for calamity and destruction.
But Troy, none of us here like Wayfinder. Give it up if you engineer.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I know. I know. YouTube people like Wayfinder. Kinda.
15, that's about like 2.5 hours if you add that all up. And then for the Dominas, they're obtained in separate content. You're not getting them out of that Halffield Lakes. It's going to take more time to get those. So you can find them in Lucille Exploration. You can find them in Geolab Rank 2. There's multiple ways to get them straight up. You can also craft them in here, but that's kind of like an outdated
Well, you know, most of the Miku
of doing
statues
so.
are like
It's gonna
10
take
bucks
you
a
hours
lap.
and hours to be able to get
in a lot of
one
places.
these, and they're only at a 7% success rate, while the S version is 100%. So if you want to match the 100% success rate, you need to make 10 of these. So that's going to take quite a while. And you need a 30% booster, as you can only stack 10 of these.
Once again, it would not be bad if it wasn't for the drop weight. Once again, the broken record here, chat. Like,
when you're augmenting at once. And what's funny, the only way to get these 30% boosters is by scratching, either on AC or SG scratches.
no,
So
$10.
play scratch tickets in Cyber Comfort for the scratch count.
Oh, wait,
bonus.
you're talking about the
There's a
augments,
30%
right?
Right here at 20 times. So you have to spend $40 essentially to get one there. Or you can get it with some SG scratches.
Yeah, Dubab got
also on
really
20
offensive in
plays. So you
PSO.
just
It no
spend,
will nil
1,000
PSO2 level,
SG,
but new
that's
gen is
more
still
than just
offensive.
getting it in that pack, as we saw earlier. So if you just spend 700 SG, you can get the Half Finale S, Mastery 4S, and the experience earned. So it's a much better value to you if you don't.
Oh, wow.
This is true. Passion. Show. The chat.
I got to comment on that in a second.
Come on, Troy, climax. Climax for us, Troy.
I'm working on it.
How did you... How did the how did the green screen win again?
I think I might not done with some
The green screen's got you 2 for 0, Troy. 2 for 0.
Don't worry about it. One day we will get it back, chap. At a long running competition.
Oh, fucking shit. Oh, man. Green screen undefeated. Green screen 2 OP. Yeah. Green screen's been doing fucking push-ups in that small room. It's like a jail cell.
I honestly, I don't remember seeing. That wasn't a towel. I know what that was. I don't know why I was wearing it. That was a 20 life goals or lifetimes ago at that point. I was back during my prep days. Anyway, we don't talk about the shit that happened back then. Actually, we do all the time, but that's beside the point. Anyway,
For those cosmetics that you're getting out of that SG scratch. And with all these, you may have noticed that they are limited in duration of time. They're only available for like a few weeks until they are gone.
yeah, I didn't
This is
realize they
employing
were
a
actually
tactic
cheaper to
known
do
as
that.
FOMO, or fear of missing
To just
out,
buy it
that
that
a lot
way,
of live
but
service
still.
games use nowadays and really push the buttons of people. But this basically is to push people into thinking that they need to buy these things now. They need to spend money.
The problem is they
don't know
got
what's
so
gonna happen
bad,
next,
I just stopped
and
killing.
If they don't get it now, they're going to struggle.
But I know that ain't a me thing though.
That Sega themselves or any other live service has
Troy
created.
was 26 in the video, by the way, chat. OG Troy.
Wait, I was 26? Wait, what? Hang on. Was that video from a decade ago? Hang on. What was it? 9 years ago. Also, I think Sam talking. What up? You want to say hi to YouTube? Because I'm not editing that video at this point. And I still got another a little over 10 minutes, so about another 40. Fine. But oh God, Chad, we were so young. We were so young. We were filled with so much hope. We were like the game industry having broke us in our sanity yet, chat.
Can I just say what in God's name is Criticaster going to think of us when he watches this back?
Oh my God. Have you watched any of my video back whenever we like commented on his videos? I did see he was watching a video. I don't know who it was for because I was like watching on the phone as I was passing out. But I know you were watching somebody video that actually brought me up. And the video was like talking, I think, about like Sega and G-Wit. I don't remember. But I know I got brought up in that video. He has.
Criticaster, we love you.
We do. We do. If you do react to any of my videos, send me a link. I'm up for the whole reaction to more reaction. Absolutely.
That I think is the worst culmination of all of this.
That way, the FOMO thing. Yeah, the FOMO and PSO and just in games in general at this point have finally did like the opposite to me. Well, you know, like what I'm talking about with most people fall of being like, you know, have to buy it because of the FOMO. Well, like I'm in the camp if FOMO involved and if I got to do more than what I'm already doing in the game to get said item, without the activity that tied to getting said item, it's actually fun and interesting. Such as like the Power Whale Kamiwao outfit. I was in Final Fantasy 14, like what, a month ago, whatever that was. Like that type of stuff I'm cool with doing. But the second, like how PSO do FOMO, I'm in the opposite camp where I just check out. I'm just like, I gotta do what? Oh, it's etchy or AC or like something like that or whatnot. I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I'm just out.
Does Troy remember this?
Oh God, what is it? I do. That is 16 minutes. That is a whole nother time. Yes, that is when we did like a pilot. What was it? I think it was it was actually on this channel. Never mind. Yeah, I think this is when I tried to do like a pilot for my own YouTube channel for like game hunting stuff. But yes, I remember making that video. That was a whole day. I don't remember what I said in the video, but I remember what I did to make that video. But yes, I do remember. That was the day we found like 10 copies of Tintin on the DS for whatever reason.
Recently added
It was your first YouTube video on this channel.
Technically no. Technically there were other videos. Just them videos either got deleted or got unlisted. There was other videos before that, long before that. But yeah, that is the fourth one that elite visible on the channel, not counting the stuff I did back in like 2005, 2006, all the way up to, you know, where we are now.
G support item select. So, like I said before, the SG
but yeah, on the channel is the fourth
premium
at
currency,
link,
so you
by
can
proxy.
earn it in game, but you can also pay
Buy
for
it.
it.
Yep.
And within this is just like the AC support that allows you to get upgrades with that currency.
It'd be fine.
So this is Gigas Mass Day S,
I think this video gonna be no more than an hour and a half,
S,
personally.
and like these triple S's, all of which are the high end of the game, the best in slot for weapons and armor for the game. So this is trying to encourage people to spend their SG or even buy more SG to be able to get these things. But this isn't even the worst part of this scratch. It's this other preset skill enhanced success rates and preset skill item protections that are a new mechanic that got added in like August. So this mechanic is a thing that you can do in the item lab that allows you to enhance your preset skills or the fixes on your weapons and armor. This takes another weapon within the same series or the same exact armor of the same Fixa level, like this Fixa Terminal 1, if I have another Fixa1 of an Astrian, I can smash this together to try to
Yeah.
upgrade the Fixa. But with that, it's at a 10% chance by default. To show this in action, just going to use this Katana plus 60, and then...
Yeah, what are you talking about, Hill? This is how augmenting technically worked in PSO2.
Put in like a launcher here to try to upgrade it. So, like I said, the 10% chance there to add a random level 1 enhancement, because this doesn't have any, and you can add those success boosters here to increase that chance, or put the item preserver to, if it fails, then it saves this item. So we're going to try here, press yes, and it'll be insanely lucky to get it to
failure.
Yeah, it usually fails at that 10% chance, as you can imagine.
And the reason I never do anything
common
about elite
weapons, it isn't too
90%
bad, 'cause you
plus.
just keep getting them over and over again, it's pretty easy. But for things that take quite a bit of work to do, the things that you would actually want to increase the Fixa for, like for Schmells, or even like Tasa, because that's like an insanely rare weapon, it's basically not going to happen without those boosters. So basically, you're going to want to keep scratching on this to get more of these...
Who watches videos, plays games, and is all fluffed up right
that's
now.
my business, but I will say this, the clues are all there.
Oh god, I don't have my cat yield in Hill Pip. I do have, because the cat yield down there from the Gundam tree. I do have my panda yields though. So we can do that. My cat yield are down there, sadly. But yes, we are very fluffy as well. But yeah, this is like a whole nother thing of like the whole 10% stuff. Like I said, the reason I don't do it, but I have like 90% on stuff outside of, like the items. Yeah, it still counts. I'm just not a cat right now. I'm more of a like a panda bell thing. I don't know.
Because this is the only
I think
way
the panda
to get
yields.
these as of right now. There might be something added later, but we have no idea. This could be the only...
Troy wants to finish this video, but we're too busy giving him money. This is a rough time.
Like I said, they're going on YouTube. Keep giving me money, chat.
Thing that could happen. And with this scratch, it's a limited time. It's only available until the 10th. It's only a few weeks until it disappears, and we don't know when it's going to come back.
I know where they are. They don't sell net to
some
of my tools and stuff for Gundam.
But maybe you want to spend it on other things within the game.
I'm just not going down there right now.
SG on. Material storage, build parts, the treasure shop.
Yeah.
You can spend it
There
on auto.
There were way better stuff to spend your SG on. Because let's be honest, like the extra storage and material storage, I've been buying them pretty much from day one with Dodgem. Because they're like, no. Like with my inventory problem, me trying to play the game without that is like non-existent. So it like, yeah, I will spend my money on that personally.
So if you really want to, you can spend it on the mission pass. Kind of depends on if you have premium or not, which premium costs money as well. But with all those things, earning the SG in game is kind of like all over the place. Some of it's really easy to get SG,
right
some
now.
of it's very hard, but it's all limited per week or like a per month basis.
All
so you can
seasonal
only get
bound.
so much before you just run out if you keep spending it. And typically, what you're spending it on that's going to drain it out is the other SG scratches for cosmetics. Thankfully, there is like a daily free ticket with those usually. But, you know, if you want these bonus items, that's the only way to get them.
Yeah, because
if
they
you
don't
want
count
the
login.
Overjoyed 2, which is only available as a scratch count bonus and not tradable, you have to at least spin on this 30 times. And that's what usually happens with these SG cosmetic scratches.
Yeah,
There's stuff
which
in here that
is
you can't get anywhere else, and you need to
so
scratch on
much
it
dog
with your
jump.
SG to be able to get them. So,
Which is
as
how
you
they
can
motivate you to
imagine,
spend
with the
money on
support item
SG.
Select, it also has things like that. Except for it's tied to that preset skill enhanced success rate, but it gives 100% versions of these, but you can't get in the scratch itself. So that guarantees the fixes to happen, and you can just save them up for weapons way later in the game for when it matters more.
Once again, is he like getting into the other thing about PSO that it kind of annoying is the whole how you look at it. You have this being like the gameplay combat mechanic driven side of New Genesis, and then you got the etchy grapple outfit being the cosmetic side, which is once again having the game separated into two separate individual games, quote unquote. And you run into the problem of like, how do you do both? And if you do both somehow, you obviously not getting the best up, especially with the FOMO stuff here. or you spending money. So it like, which once again go back into like my whole thing of like, instead of having two separate types of games, is each type of game should be running with each other in parallel, where one affect the other and the other affect the other. Well, it will constantly just be like, oh, you do mechanic, you get AC items after they did continue. You do chatting stuff, which then will be like adding the friends to then be able to have people for alliance or party that you can then go do the stuff for it, or to trade them, if we had trading, to trade among yourself of like getting equipment or cosmetic, or, you know, like that. And we can think of like hundreds of other things as well from there, but having that type of crossover, I feel like not only will that stop fracturing the community, but also, you know, add more of a reason for someone who is only interested in gameplay or only interested in the social, cosmetic side to, you know, overlap into other content they may or may, you know, may or may not enjoy, or get them into content they will enjoy. And also, thank you, Pep. Thank you for the wait, Pep. Hello. Thank you, Pep. And time to grab capital clean shots again, Pep, isn't it? But yeah, with them having them separated like this, it's like one of them cases of like, which once again, maybe it's like the whole bleeding into the FOMO bit of being like, if you're someone that lives in the middle, you, what's going on, CM? Hi, I see you, I'm live, CM. But, you know, it like, you know, you stretching the players thin enough, well, maybe they will want out dog gym, and maybe they will cave and spend AC to then buy dog gyms, and then you just made more money. Maybe that's the plan. Let's be honest, that's the real plan. That why they do it. This is why it's two separate games, technically.
Like when we get like 12 stars, 13, 15 stars, whatever, and you can also use it for armors too, or just use it whenever you want.
Get some edgy out of the community, because people do,
or even the 90
that too.
times. That's going to take 4,000.
Yeah, but the thing is about that is like, the thing is about the economy stuff when it comes to etchy, like, you're not wrong, but at the same time that don't make it any better, because I feel like that's something they need to be doing with Maceta, which they kind of do, you know, depending on how good or bad you want to put it, especially once you bring in the people who, you know, make the Maceta through AC scratches. Well,
attention, attention. A Luna raid is commencing in the TroyMaconn channel. Take
Nice.
this time to hail Luna and give her some hungry man chicken and
Do
a
it.
brownie.
Do it, chat. By the way, we got a very special Luna that I will show off in 10 minutes if we can get through the video, chat. You know, for to praise Luna. I got a very special Luna off stream that we're gonna show up for Halloween. But yeah, like, it's edgy. I feel like one of them things where like we don't get enough of it for it to be any reason to drain. Because the reason you want to drain the economy is that way you will make the overall economy for other players better. So, an example, when you come in, you don't instantly be like, oh, I want to buy that Hell Pete. Oh, it's $20 billion like PSO2. You want to have the money drained and item around enough to be like, oh, that item is, you know, 50K, 100K, 1 million, you know, depending on, but again, PSO would be like 1 to 2 million ideally, because that is the chump chain version. That the, you know, that is the one go piece and WoW type of deal. So like you will want to drain that, but when it comes to HG item, I don't think it to drain it, mainly because none of the item can be sold or
You
anything.
want to drain our channel points?
Exactly. I'm still trying to find a way to do that. Absolutely, Pip. Yeah, but it's like one of them cases of like, why are you draining it?
T-minus 9 minutes until horror month begins.
Exactly.
I am excited. We are excited. We want a small sample of things to come.
Oh,
Give
we
us a
don't worry.
spooky taste test tonight, Troy, of things to come.
Don't worry, we will, because I got stuff we need to get done. Don't you worry. And let's be honest, that video gonna run out to midnight. That's gonna happen. But nonetheless, but yeah, when it comes to SG though, it like, what are you getting from SG? You're getting scratch items that you can't sell. You getting weapon augments and or what Capital talking about.
Spoiler alert, Albert bought a long hairstyle today for possibly 8.6 million. He might put it on later just for pride. TroyMaconn.
Oh, I see. I see. Make sure to send me a screenshot. Send me a screenshot, please. But yeah, when it comes to SG though, it's like everything is so like locked to your character. The only reason to drain SG, especially since you got your you got your mission pass, you got your storage, you got your SG item, you got what Capital talking about here with the enhanced stuff. Like all that stuff is so isolated to yourself. The only reason you would want to drain that is to make people feel the need to actually buy SG with AC. Especially if nothing available that will give a decent amount of, SG in general. Because, we're not getting thousands of SG anymore from doing story mission like we did in PSO2. Or, more than likely everybody have always done that if you want SG. But that's the one-time thing, though. So, yeah, like, trying to drain SG out of the economy... And like, yes, but they are doing it for the FOMO reason, not to make the game better. Well, like draining out Maceta, or in the case of me with channel points, is for the betterment of the game in our case, the chat room. But actually, no. But yeah. I have not seen Quopy SG amount. Do Quopy just like stockpile hit SG? Because I think the highest I ever got my SG was like 3K, maybe 4K. This is a screenshot. Nice. Night Pip. Give out quickly, decent. At least. Yeah, I have 2,000 right now. Yeah, because if any of you buying like the the season pass, or the mission pass, any of you buying your storage, like you only out like what? Every 90 days, like maybe 1,000 SG at best. And just the thing is, if you start getting into like this stuff, and when you can run out quick. They even make 3K. Oh god, I got thousands of special flat tickets.
Troy is going to need a miracle to finish this video.
I do.
The money is pouring in like a rainy day. Now dress up in a pumpkin costume and dance for us.
Don't you tempt me. Don't you tempt me. I will. I need to get me a Halloween outfit for the last day of the month, so don't you tempt me, Pride.
500 star gems to be able to get up to that point. I don't think I'm wrong in taking this guess here, but I think most people don't just have 4,500 star gems just laying around.
Yeah, I feel like most people have like two at
most. You
most.
weren't spending much on these SG scratches to get the count bonuses because you didn't care, and you probably weren't spending too much on like the build parts. There's something that you were not spending on to be able to.
Yeah, you're not counting about the cosmetics
so
for that time.
For those that were spending on the cosmetics prior to this.
Footage of Troy.
God. Okay, we will run through all that once the video is done. We so close to being done, chat. Bought all the passes ahead of time with SG, the last month or two. Wait, are you meaning like the second they drop, you just bent all of it and got everything on these lists? Is that what you meaning, Mason?
Being, announced. Regardless of that, would somebody actually spend money on star gems? There's been quite a few people that have said buying star gems just really isn't worth it in comparison to AC, but they're actually wrong, because when you look at the SG purchase section, it's basically the same rates as AC, except for like the ones down below. So if you're only buying like 20 star gems for 100 AC, that one isn't really worth it, because each pull of a SG scratch is 50 star gems, and each pull of an AC scratch is 200 AC. So if you spend 200 AC on this, you get 40 star gems, which isn't enough for a pull on an SG scratch, but is enough for a AC scratch.
Yeah,
The
this is
further
what they
go
get
up
you
this
and have
list,
all the
the better
gotcha.
the rates get, even where it flops. So if you have like the biggest pack here, then you actually get more value out of it than the AC scratching. So you can get like a 56 pulls or something like that.
Yeah, the only thing that like dents in the heel is a court for the people who don't care about the cosmetics, and the cosmetics are nothing more than to make money off the player market. And you can't do that with SG items. So, oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, so you can just stockpile that stuff if you want. Absolutely, that makes sense, Mason.
With this, and only get like 54 pulls with the AC version of it. So it's still almost like equal, but if people are willing to spend 200 AC for one pull on an AC scratch, then they would do the exact same thing for star gems. This just goes back to the issue.
Oh god, it will like to get almost 3,000 star gems is almost $100, chat. I just will like that.
I was talking about earlier, where the game is creating a problem to then sell you the solution. I know these video games need to make money somehow, but I think these cosmetics and everything else that's in the AC and SG shops is fine enough. There doesn't need to be more on top of it than there already is with like the upgrading, trying to sell these XDs and addies, you know, trying to essentially skip all of the content within the game that we have with how little there is that feels worth to do. To put it into other words, they're basically saying
and why it feels so bad
content with those skip gameplay features to then get to that later.
Like, this is the reason I still say, like, most other free-to-play games out there, like, you look at it and be like, yeah, the pay-to-win is horrible, terrible, worst thing known to man for this game. He's gonna kill the game, blah, 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 blah. And then you get to NGS and you just look at it and you just realize how pointless and dumb it is. Like, at least in the auto game, when you spend money, you get something in return, any if it's not, you know, great, because, you know, you're gonna hurt the game in the long run. But PSO, like, hurt the game and horribly just mediocre, dumb, and pointless. Like at that, I still stand by my statement, like, NGS is bad pay to win, and not because, you know, it's like bad because of killing the game. It's just legit from like a business aspect. Like, I guess on one hand it's good because you get any shit for doing nothing hardly that really matter in the end, but on the other hand it's like if one thing taking advantage of your player base or your whales or your gambling addiction, and then just like another level on top of it to just make it any more shitty.
Latest content, only skip that latest content, because then you can just get the guaranteed versions in this scratch with these S augments, because these are the current augments that we have for the game right now. You get these from the aerial combat zones, you get them from doing the urgent quests, you get them from doing Darkfall Souls, etc. At least like the material components to make these. And they're just like such a low chance and such a pain in the ass that these like players are encouraged to get this, and they don't want to go through all that bullshit.
Wait, why here the reason why they won't fit the drop weight in the game?
Left to do in this, at least in terms of gearing, because
they're never gonna fit the drop weight because
cosmetics, which are basically all tied to spending money as well. And what's funny about all that is, like, with the cosmetics, you can buy them with Meseta in the player market if the players that spend the money on these put them there. But you're not going to really be getting good Meseta because those players are also going to be getting these, so they don't need to buy the original augments off of you or the material augments so you can get the money. The only way that's left is to get raw Meseta out of combat zones, which are the most boring content in this game.
And
so
have always been.
What happened to the MMO or the RPG aspect of Phantasy Star, or maybe even some other games that are doing the same exact things, because from what I remember, it's about getting, you know, a certain gear set to then
not about the game anymore.
To keep going up and up and up to then feel like a badass.
Never have been,
end,
to be honest.
Fulfilled because you actually earned all of that on the way through. You made a.
Let's be honest. The LAC game that, you know, which I know can get debatable, especially by today's standard, but the LAC game that had like actual like sense in like live server MMO stuff that had any amount of satisfaction beyond a very specific type of dopamine hit, but like more like long term, it probably Final Fantasy 14. If you think about it, like I know you can buy stuff in Final Fantasy 14, but like as far as like the whole playing, farming, hunting down enemies, you know, doing any amount of content, like that lead the last one that come to my mind. I guess let me know if you guys got any, because of like that would be it for me, I think. Yeah, 10 million into Walmart setup, by the way. Yeah, I think I have. I think I have like maybe 1.5 million Masetta. Like I have nothing, and like any when we were playing this game, like literally 10+ hours a day. You know, for the full like 6 months or whatever. I think I only ever peaked at like the higher peak I have ever got. Period. In New Genesis is like 26,000. Oh, 26 million. I mean, like wobbly into 20s. I believe it's 26. And at the highest I ever got as a 100% free-to-play player. Since I have never spent money on anything except for premium,
Troy,
like
please
3
tell
times.
the people on YouTube your fondest PSO2 NGS memory. I'll go first. Ahem. Hatsune Miku sexy painted toenails and feet. Okay.
Yeah, I had
done.
a feeling.
Your turn.
Okay. So happiest moment, like legit happiest moment. These are not long story. These are tiny one. There were 2. The 2 most happiest moment for me. On a personal level. So once again, it's straight up a personal thing. Is which in between kind of funny because it don't really got anything to do with the game technically. Was when Gemma waited us and then invited us to a private Discord that was originally meant for just PSO content creator. And then, of course, you know, like 6 months to a year later, it kind of died because it opened up to everybody. And then what happened with Gemma happened with Gemma. You know, it very quickly died. But for the like few months there, where it was like me, Gemma, Cato, Quopy, I think Quopy was there, Ginger Prime, and a couple other people, like that was great. That was the one time that I actually felt like I was a part of the PSO community on a whole, and not just the person on the outside going in making videos, I guess. But and then my other time before that, oh, I guess it would be after that technically. Would have still been in the very last episode of Arc Hours when G-Wig called us out. Like more so than like here an email. Like don't get me wrong, they did we technically a tweet, not an email. But like the full like encounter I had with like G-Wig and the Sega, you know, side of Sega. Was also probably be another one. At least on a personal level, not on like a business level by any means. But then would be the 2 for me. So.
Journey instead of skipping to the end.
I appreciate it,
Cloud. I have on this topic for today. I'm sure that some of you will think that, you know, this isn't that big of a deal and I shouldn't be really talking about it in this way because it's not worth it.
Nah, thank Cloud.
I've had this feeling for quite some time and I'm sure others have too. And I just wanted to see, you know, more discussion about it because it's becoming more of a problem. I want to return to the ways of base game PSO2. There's more and more augments in these SG and AC scratches that are only obtainable in those scratches. I don't want it to return to that because that would be a nightmare.
Oh god, it would be.
I think this is more.
I got a little memory on like
the game itself
tied to the game and
take a lot of this
content
that they have.
But them are the 2 main ones.
Obsolete / not worth doing because there's this new thing that needs to be focused on instead. That's way more rewarding. Sometimes when they drop things at the same time, it feels that way too. Like with Lucille Exploration and Dark Ball Solace. Darkfall Solace is not rewarding, but is way harder than Lucille Exploration. Lucille Exploration is giving you a whole bunch of this gear, like the augments.
Yeah, that's the reason why, like, honestly, with the Darkfall stuff, when we do that content, whenever that might be, is I'm pretty sure, knowing me, we will do it, beat it, and then never touch it again. Just because of, like, I have seen the loot tables, and I have seen a lot of people talking about the loot table, and it's just like, no. For all I know, people might not even be doing the content anymore, and we would just never see that content.
The Verschmells, the Octo, and Darkfall Solace gives you outdated gear, like Ajax armor and kind of Neosastrian. I guess that one isn't as bad, but that's pretty much outdated, and it gives you 20 SG a week, which is like nothing. It's like not even half of a scratch that we just saw. So yeah, it just feels way off in terms of
one time a week
and reward.
Okay, my question is, how much is it? If they're not giving me, like, if it once a week and it really as hard as it is, if they are not giving me anywhere from 1 to 500, no thank you. Especially if it's like horribly time consuming and is, no matter how good your equipment is, equally as hard. Yeah, so they give us a $1, which is nothing. I can get that by doing 5 titles, or what, like 4 titles? And liking 3 people lookbook? No, thank you.
Word ratio, which I think is the biggest issue in this game, but they need to make more content, not just get, you know, booted out of the cycle. They need to have a wide spread of things so people can go to one thing or another. So when they get bored of, you know, X, Y, or Z, they can go to the other stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Yeah, this is like right there with like the whole thing of like Cabal was like example of that for the Kaiser stuff, which, you know, they kind of half-at it, but not really. But yeah, like, absolutely. Like, I still want content that bleed into each other, but if you have, like, oh, you can go do, you know, races, tower defense, whatever, to get the same items or the same amount of items, that is, like, for me, like, one of them cases of, like, that is better, because, you know, if we don't want to do, like, one content, we can do another, or whatever. Or, you know, they just make us do more stuff we can just idle in. Which is sadly a thing Elite for, like Cannonball Strike anyway. But, they know how to fight it, the guild. Yeah, if I can hop in and we can get that quest done less than 5 minutes, then, like, sure, I would do it for 20 XG. But if that, like, one of them quests is like Lake Hopper, where, like, okay, they're gonna take, like, bare minimum, like, 8 to 10 minutes, if not more, for 20 Thor gems, and, like, at that point, like, I would just go like 5 people lookbook, get 5 Thor gems, and then, you know, look at my, look at my titles and be like, okay, what can I do in, like, 2 to 3 minutes? And then just do that, and then literally have the 20. In the same amount of time that actually have more checklist style to it, or have the same amount of a setup for, like, let time. At least 50, maybe lower. Yeah, it just, like, once again, this is the whole thing of, like, depending on how bad it is, like, as far, like, how long it take and how actual hard it is, no matter what your equipment level is. Then it, like, if it's, like, more on the more annoying side, it, like, 20, and no. Like, 20 is not worth that at all, because I think, don't you get, like, 100 for doing, like, one of your weeklies or something? Like, just do that. Part of the weekly quest. Oh, speaking of weekly quests. Sort of must if you do your weekly every week. Yeah, I don't do my weeklies every week. The only ones I do, like, weekly are stuff for, like, you know, the battle pass or the mission pass. If it's a weekly and it's not a part of the mission pass, I don't care. The dailies I don't mind doing, because, you know, the dailies is, like, you know, that's just a checklist thing of, like, oh, okay, we do this, it's gonna take 20 minutes. You know, I can map it out in my head, being like, okay, 20 minutes for that. Hour and a half for Wantine, 10 minutes for this. Oh, okay, they're a 2-hour stream. Well, like the weeklies are just, you know, like I said, if it's not a part of the battle pass, I don't bother doing because it's like, you know, I get nothing really in return what doing. You know, I don't give like the same dopamine or the same rewards or better rewards. So like I don't care. But yeah, there you go, chat. Another Cato video. This is probably like almost a 2-hour long YouTube video. So since it's so long and you guys were so poetic tonight, I am not gonna edit it video. So we're gonna go up as is. So if you somehow made it this long into it, especially over on YouTube, make sure to like, do the favorite, do the subscribe, hit all the buttons over there. Come on over, twitch.tv/TroyMaconn. We do it all the stuff, all the time. Also known chance you're torturing me. Over here, roughly around 7:15, 7:30, give or take. Doing a whole bunch of stuff, and we do have Halloween coming up with a whole bunch of Halloween stuff. And I guess since it's after midnight, not only go give Capital some love, chat. Go like your video. Go subscribe to Capital if you haven't already. And so so everyone on YouTube don't miss out on the tease about the thing we got for Halloween, chat. I've been setting off Queen for the last week, 2 weeks, something like that. After I hit my mic with it. Here you go, chat. Here you go. Are you ready for that, chat? As soon as I find my mount, there it is. Also, the 4-year update on the whole time. I forgot about them. Either way, we got a light up Luna, chat. As my camera don't know what to do because of the light. But there we go. We got a light up Luna. We're gonna hang out back here. Gonna hang out back there with the Gundams and be Luna.